What up, y'all? I'm Matt Convoy, and this is Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. On the off chance that you don't already know, Transformers Studio Series is a line of figures that focuses on balancing fun toys with satisfying transformations, with accurate and/or recognizable representations of fan-favorite on-screen character models from the movies and games, along with affordable mass-market pricing, which a lot of times results in basically watered-down versions of figures from the Transformers Masterpiece line, which are more high-end collector-grade figures that nowadays feature robot modes that only look good in a static pose directly from the front, and needlessly complex transformations that frustrate, infuriate, and cheat harder than your ex. See that robot mode chest there? Looks like it becomes the roof of the car, right? That chest is a lie! Something, your mom. Not so much with Studio B here. I mean, he does cheese it a bit, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, let's beam in on this Bumbleboss bot. His proportions are dang near perfect, with his big, stompy, totally not VW Beetle hood boots at the end of his not too scrawny legs, leading up to his cuddly Bumblebee belly. His arms ain't super chunky, but you can tell it'd probably sting a good bit if he ever punched you for real. Head's an adorable little lemon drop with horns as it should be. There is some kind of funny business going on with his face, where his cheeks are kind of weirdly pronounced unless you light them at just the right angle to get that classic raised flat surface look. He does have a good sized backpack made out of the whole butt end of his car mode here, which, yeah, MP 2.0B also has a big backpack, but where that one's just a clumped up mess of panels that just don't have anywhere else to go, this looks like it's supposed to be there, even though we know it isn't. Also, it's a nice little nod to Bumblebee's original G1 Renaissance figure, Classics Bumblebee. The details are nice, with just the right amount of greeblies to help him fit in with the rest of your chug shelf. Oh, I can already imagine somebody having a problem with that line. That ain't chug. Chug stands for Classics, Henkei,
Listen, stop it. Get some help.
I don't know if anyone actually does argue that Studio Series doesn't count as part of Chug. I just feel like somebody would. Y'all say and do what you want. But to me, this is what Chug has been leading up to. This is premium Chug. This is Chug Plus. Sounds like a diet soda you'd see in a movie that he couldn't get any product placement deals. Anyway, he's even got details on the bottom of his feet. I love these gray plastic bits on his sides, so his armpits aren't just flat slabs of untouched nothing, cause it's technically the inside of the toy and who cares? I care, and I vibe with it heavy. And when you start transforming him, you'll see the inside of a bunch of the panels have even more robo-greeblies going on. None of which is necessary, but all of it is definitely appreciated. The colors are great, with the classic Bumblebee palette of yellow and dark gray instead of straight black, so it doesn't clash with the yellow, which technically makes it more show accurate anyways. The painted dark grays are almost indistinguishable from the dark gray plastic. Can't say the same for the yellow bits though. You can pick out at least 2 different shades on the plastic, and those painted bits on that gray window piece add a 3rd shade to the mix. Like, the color's not super off though, and the application do be clean. It really just feels like it could have used another layer or 2 just so it matched the roof better. But I am a big Real Great Gundam fan, so I guess I can't complain too much about that. It's noticeable, but not too noticeable, so I guess it's okay. Bottom line though, you hold this guy up to the screen while watching Transformers 86. By the way, Studio Series 86, Transformers the movie 1986. You know, just in case you ain't sniffed that one out on your own. You look at this guy and you look Bumblebee in the movie or the cartoon, and it's like, that's him, that's the guy that this is supposed to be. Don't know how it would be anybody else. He ain't got much for accessories, just this one silver pistol, which is a nice representation of the little pea shooter Bumblebee occasionally uses. Wait, not that one. Not that one. Hey, there it is. Super appreciate that it's not hollow on one side like a lot of mainline Transformers weapons. Fits in his hand just right, and if you want, you can tab it into this slot on his back for storage. Articulation's decent. It ain't mind-blowing, but it's nothing to be mad about. Oh no, his knees and elbows can only go 90 degrees. Oh no, his head can only look up that much. When you get any more than that for this little chubster? Never. That's when. The most noteworthy thing about the articulation is that ankle pivot being in kind of a weird spot. His size is just right for old B-Boy, right around scout class or basic size. Here he is with Beast Wars Rat Trap, crossover Gigawatt, technically a deluxe, and a high-grade Gundam, why not? Alright, I think that's enough gushing over the bot. Let's transform this guy and check out the bug. The transformation is surprisingly complex for a figure this size, but not frustrating in any way. It's intuitive, and it does what you want a G1 Bumblebee to do. Chest becomes the roof, feet become the front of the car. The Bumble Boots pull some neat little tricks along the way. The soles of the feet disconnect and fold away to give the front wheels clearance to roll, which incidentally allows you to do a fun little roller skate heely thing in bot mode. The back of the heel flips out into the car door, a throwback to the masterpiece Bumblebee, the good one. And the ankles roll under, bringing up the rest of the car hood and giving a nice kind of dramatic reveal of the Autobot logo on his left side. I should mention that it can be a bit annoying to line the doors up with the back wheel fenders to get rid of that little gap there. If you care. I kinda care. Oh, and here's that tiny bit of cheating that I mentioned earlier. This bit is supposed to represent the back window on the robot mode chest, and here's the actual back window for the car mode. Honestly, each of these is the better aesthetic option for their respective modes. As far as the transformation cheating goes, this is a tiny little fib, which is much more forgivable than a transformation that just outright bold-faced lies to you. What you end up with is a solid, near-perfect representation of G1B's squished-up Volkswagen mode from the original show, with maybe a few extra angles and straight edges here and there. Thankfully, most of the off-yellow plastic I mentioned earlier is hidden away with the robot bits. And here you can really see how good the color matching is on the dark gray paint. Shame they didn't paint these back corners on the front windows. That's a bit of an eyesore. And it's the same on both sides, which tells me it's more likely some kind of budgetary omission rather than a production error. He rolls nice. His weapon can store on his backpack like before. Kinda would have preferred if it could go underneath and form some kind of like tailpipe. You can kind of fudge it that way if you turn his hand sideways and let the storage tab just kind of sit there. It is decently secure, but you lose all clearance for the back wheel to roll. So I just tuck it in his trunk, fold his arms back up, and call it a day. That's not in the instructions anywhere. It is just kind of sitting in there, loose and rattly as heck, but it fits, therefore it ships. Here's Bumblebee again with Rat Trap, Gigawatt, and a Gundam. Final thoughts? I like it. I know there's a lot of people saying that a deluxe class price tag on a scout-sized figure is at the very least a bit sus. To be fair, I got mine loose at a comic shop for $10. In the further spirit of fairness, he does have a lot going on for a figure his size. So even if I had paid full price for him, I still don't think I'd be mad about it at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong though, I definitely would have questioned that purchase until I got him out of the box. Real talk, this guy was nowhere near my radar until I found him for a bargain. But now that I got him, I happily would have paid full price for this guy. So for now, he's got a very secure spot on my rando shelf. If I ever start a Chug shelf again, that's where his new home will be. And that's my piece. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down below. And hopefully it won't take another year or two to get around to the next one. Bye! God, am I going to be the JonTron of robot toys? If we don't get a Studio Series 86 Cliff Jumper and a third-party pair of Steve Austin hands for him, then I just have no further faith left in humanity.